Hey you guys, it's Dani and welcome to the fantastic conclusion of Tarot Chronicles. Like, I'm really just over the wall excited to show you guys what we did. And by we, I mean I mostly told Jacob, hey, do this, and he did it. So we went through a couple of ideas. We did a lot of shopping, walking around, will this work, will that work, trying to make sure that I had just the right feel, just the right ability to kind of get everything set like I wanted. And in the end, we decided we were going to make risers, special risers, to get everything back into the tarot cabinet and make everything visible. So I'm excited to show you where all my decks are tucked. I have a couple of places outside of the cabinet, and then of course show you guys the cabinet itself. But let's kind of see how we got there to begin with. This is what we got.
Alrighty.
Let me show you my idea.
So here's the conundrum. I have this, so it's very hard to get it to get a riser that will work because there's so much less space, whereas like look how much space there is here where I can take this in and out.
So you get the point. I went through my whole spiel. So from there, it was the discussion phase. Okay, so I have the ones in the boxes. Okay, but the problem is that not all of them are the same size. Okay, so I was thinking maybe the risers on one side, but you said maybe like the ones for like shelves in like the kitchen, like a spice rack?
Yeah, they make like different sizes, so you can do like something like a spice rack size.
Well, yeah, because if
it's gonna be flat on flat, not angle on angle, and you're gonna get these odd little like unusable spaces, things like that.
Right. So after all of that discussion and toying with different options, we went out and we kind of looked at different spice racks. We looked at baskets. We looked at boxes. We looked at all kinds of different things. And we finally landed on a little galvanized looking trough, which you'll see in a bit, to put on one of my shelves on my bookshelf. And then we decided on custom made risers because the spice racks would have allowed for the decks to be set this way, but not this way because they were too short. And with the amount of decks that I have and the way that it's set up, if I were to set them this way, it just would not have worked. I wouldn't have had enough space. I would have needed more risers. And so we decided on split, having one riser on one side, two on another, including the bottom. And so after that, it was just measuring and figuring out how we wanted it. Okay. Even if I do this, should be okay. So, no taller than this height, I think. And then that second one can be about this.
Okay, so we'll just measure all that.
Yeah.
My legs are going to be 5.5 tall.
Okay. I've had him doing extra projects today, like putting up my lights. That's still a mess. Don't look at that. Rearranging that. Put my witch's lair and this. Got some decks in here, bigger ones. Some dicks. Yay! Little bitty feet. About an inch.
Bottom feet are an inch.
Do y'all see this horrific shit? It was up here. Look, I still have my things boarded up from the storm. It was up here yesterday, and now it's down here. And if it moves any closer to my door, I'm gonna have a stroke. Okay, do those bags fit in the little hole? What? Oh, hell yeah. You can just take those out because I'm gonna arrange them. Just set them down. Still got the rest in the bag. You're so wonderful.
I'll try.
Aw, hell yeah. Hell yeah, boy. Let's see if we can get him in. So, after a little zhuzhing and rearranging, I think I'm finally at a place where I'm really, really happy about the cabinet and my other little spaces for the decks, and I just feel like everything is a bit more cohesive. I can see, and it's kind of trickled its way out into the shop. I get insane in the fall. Like, most people do their, like, big spring cleaning in the spring, right? That's why it's called spring cleaning. For me, it's fall. I go through this phase almost every single year where right as fall is coming right up to Maybon, I lose my whole frickin' mind and I have to throw away everything. I just have to go through everything, and I need to see everything. Do we need this? Do we not need this? I get huge things filled up to bring to Goodwill or to other charities around our community. Just a full clean out. And so that's what we've been doing in our house. And so some things from there are moving into here because I still have a lot of my crafts and art supplies in there that just don't have a place in here yet. So my whole space is kind of still getting revamped, which is why, you know, we added my little pieces that I brought in. Yeah. So I'm excited about those, but in a big way, I'm constantly kind of looking at the things that we have and the things that I keep and the things that I kind of collect out of the year. And this time of year, I usually go through it and give a ton of it to charity. I sell a little bit of it, and, you know, give away some stuff to other people as well. So that's kind of where my mindset is. So there's still a little bit to do, but tarot cabinet feels solid and complete. So let's take a look, shall we? Okay, Picky Girl is here in her corner again, and right here in my box is going to stay kind of my playing cards, which are here, and then any decks, I'm sure that'll kind of be rotated, that I'm either using at the time or that need to be modified. So that's what I've decided to do here on my desk. So on over to my tarot desk. Not much has changed here. My Nile cards, I still have my Revival Arts up here at the top. I have Pagan Otherworlds and the spread deck right here. Sometimes they come, decks come and go right here depending upon what I'm working on. So things kind of come and go, but this is basically how it sort of stays. But on over to my bookshelf. So I've got some of my tarot books up at the top here. And then I shifted down here next to my sweet little possum. This is from Kate. It's Kate O'Hara. Yeah, KateO'Hara.com. I love her art, and there was a possum and moons, so I must have. Anyway, so this is this little galvanized decor thing that I was talking about earlier. I call it a food trough because that's what it reminds me of. I got it at one of our hobby stores, but I have in here my decks in a bag, obviously. Since not all of them have drawstrings, and if they do, they're not all the same length. Oh, I knocked over my possum. I figured I would do something a little simple. So I grabbed this. It's easy to move in and out. So I kind of have my bags tucked away right here. And then on the shelf below, it's a smaller shelf, but I am able to put my bigger boxed decks. Now, a lot of times I wouldn't keep them in these big boxes. However, this fits really nicely. So if I ever decide to kind of take something out of the big box and put it in a bag, I can do that, and then fit something else there. But for now, they fit beautifully on this shelf. And now over. This looks a lot better than it did earlier. But this is what everyone wants to see. The tarot cabinet. Okay, are y'all ready? Oh, tell me that is not a breath of fresh air from what it was before. I mean, holy cow. So we have our main one across the back. Down in here, let me scooch in. You can see all of the bags that I've made. They all have something very clear on them, so I can always tell what these are. I have some that are still in bags that are kind of set in the front. But again, I can just see everything clearly. Let me put these back where they were. Have a row here. Then we have the big Druid craft in the center where this big piece was. Since it didn't fit anything, I was like, I'll put the Druid craft in between. And so we have our top shelf. We have our middle shelf. There's the riser. And then we have our bottom shelf along with my tins, so you can still see everything that's there, which I really, really love. And check this out. Look at this. Look at this. I can grab it. Nothing falls. I can grab it. Everything stays. So nice, you guys. Everything feels like cohesive and organized and together, and I don't feel like things get lost. You know what I mean? Like, I can see everything, and then if I want to tuck stuff behind, I can, because I do have that space down here, which is a little bit of dead space, but at the same time, if I wanted to, I could, like I said, I could put stuff underneath there. I could do another space for the bags and kind of move those out if I decide to take some out of the boxes and do so. I have a whole nother space to do that. So I can still change and rearrange. I can still add another riser if I want and move my bags elsewhere. So I still have options, but this is so much better. So thanks for going on this little journey with me, you guys. It has been a lot of fun, and I feel like it's taken forever. My deck sat in the kitchen / living room being pushed back and forth for a while after the storm, because it's like we didn't want to put everything back until we were able to make the risers and get everything done. So it was a process, but it's finally finished, and I'm really thankful for my sweet husband for doing this for me and with me, and yeah, so I'm really glad at how this turned out. So if you guys want to check out the decks that are leaving my collection, that'll be up pretty soon. And we also have a couple of new ones that came in. Okay, so one that was gifted, two that I maybe impulsively bought. But, you know, I mean, listen, I'm letting go, I'm bringing in, it's a thing. So I hope that you guys have a great whatever. Morning, noon, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'm sending you all my love. If you are looking for me, all of my information is down below. My shop, how to book a reading, 3 Fat Readers, all the things. all of it's going to be down there. So we will see each other very soon. Mwah. Later, Gators.